Hey everyone, a very good morning. For some reason, if there's not a train in my background, there's an airplane right now. But welcome, you've joined us at the HerKey Table. We are from the HerKey Club, and if you haven't heard of us before, we are a women in leadership platform that belongs to Jobs for Her. Jobs for Her is a name that is synonymous with bringing women back to work, as you may already know. I'm currently live with 5 key holders of the club. Let me quickly introduce them before we jump into today's session, which is actually our roundtable that happens once every 2 months, and we talk about the theme that we are covering inside the club. Currently, it is Bring Down That Wall, Breaking Gender Barriers. And I'm quickly going to introduce the women at the table and then give you a quick overview about what this theme is all about. Please wave when I say your name, dear key holders. We have with us Savita Kirpalani, Principal Analytics and BI, Ascentra Consulting; Nidhi Khatri, Head of Branding, Cloud9 Hospitals; Dr. Samra Sultana, Vice Chairperson, Imam Rabbani Senior Secondary Public School; Aparna Saxena, CEO, TORAJAMELO, Chapter Head, SheLovesData; Anupa K. Ramana, Independent Consultant at multiple organizations. And we need to have a real conversation so we can begin to make changes. For the overwhelmingly vast majority of women, breaking through the gender barrier at work is still hard, and the barriers are diverse. Women like Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, who way back in 2004 took Biocon, the company that she founded in 1978, public, a firm that went on to cross $1 billion on its very first day on the bourses in 2004. What does the gender barrier look like for Kiran, who has broken through it a long time ago? How can the average woman with an urge to work and build a career reach the stage Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw has when she was quoted as saying, "As you become more successful, the gender barrier disappears. The credibility crisis you have during your growing years starts disappearing when you demonstrate success." Most young women or girls find very few role models to inspire them, and you have millions of women believing, "I'm just not good enough." Sadly, this conditioning at home becomes the weak foundation upon which a life has to be built. And when women somehow overcome those societal barriers to make it into the workforce, they are faced with the glass ceiling, non-parity in pay, sexual harassment, and more. And while the number of women with degrees or post-graduation entering the workforce is growing, this is still a leaky bucket. Lack of support when juggling career and home responsibilities lead many women to drop out. Further down the line, lack of opportunities to advance in their careers lead to further more women quitting, which ultimately leave very few women in the C-suite, leading to the lack of representation of women in leadership positions. So, this month inside the HerKey Club, we analyze all that is gender unequal and is holding women back and explore ways to break down these barriers for women to rise up. As Beyonce once mentioned, women need allies on this tough journey. We need fathers standing up for their daughters, husbands supporting their wives' dreams, and governments mandating workplace rules that level the playing field to give women a fair chance. Feminism isn't about asking for favors, but just about fairness. Before I begin, I would just quickly like to make a correction. We have Aparna Bhatnagar Saxena, who is CEO TORAJAMELO and the ASEAN lead for SheLovesData. With that, I'd like to ask Dr. Samra Sultana to share her thoughts on what she has thought of this particular theme until now.
First of all, thank you, Kajal, for that introduction. And I think this breaking the gender barriers, if I talk about breaking the gender barriers in my field of expertise, that is education, then I'll give you one data of UDICE, that is Unified District Information on School Education, report 2019-20, says that 49.15 lakh female teachers are there in India, and 47.71 lakh male teachers are there in India. So if we talk about gender barriers, breaking the gender barriers at HerKey, we stereotype ourselves that it is only about female and women, but we need more men to come forward and educate our young girls and boys to make this world a better place. Uh, I will give you one more data, that is 123 million illiterate youth were there. Out of them, 76 million female youth are illiterate. So more female are teaching. They are choosing education as their profession, but if you look at the other side, then female education and literacy is very, female education and their literacy rate are they are not matching as per the male. So we need to change this gender barrier in my field, that is education. And one more thing, like this is personal to me, one more thing I want to add, that is uh, um, you know uh, this extra piece of cloth on my face and on my head. People thought that you are oppressed, and you are the people, they thought that I'm an illiterate person, I'm oppressed, I'm neglected. So I think we need to change this stereotype also, that this is what I choose to wear, this is my faith, and I love to wear it. So do not stereotype a woman in a certain box, that if she dressed, or if she look like that, that means she is literate, or she can be the change what others want, and what she wanted to be. So I think um, you know I faced a lot of problem when I went to the university, when I was doing my PhD also. So but I think those hurdles and barriers make me a strong woman, as well as if people think that after looking at me, if they think I'm an illiterate, I'll make this world a better place to live in through education. This is what I thought after after listening to those comments. So I think through education, or educating especially girl child, we will make this world a better place, and we may break down this gender barriers.
So, thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Samra. And very quickly, let's have Dr. Samra wrap up what your key takeaways were from the events inside the club.
I really like all the conversation, but I what I really love is Kavi Hamzai's what she says is, you, if you want to invest, in your skills, I want to tell all the girls out there that invest your time and money on your skills, and upgrading you through education. And she says that you have to be damn good in your work, that your employer need you. You do not need any organization, you do not need any organization or company, rather those company and organizations need you. So I love poetry. I will sum up in a share, written by Allama Muhammad Iqbal Rahmatullah Alayhi. He says that खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. So this is what I really love about Kaveri Bamzai.
Lovely. Thanks much for sharing that, Dr. Samra. And with that, we do come to the end of our second question. We are on two. And Dr. Samra, would you like to share?
Actually, after listening to all those sessions, I got that motivation that recently when I joined, not intentionally but unintentionally, somehow I joined politics. So people used to they say that you are unable to work here. This type of women are not meant to do politics and this and that, a lot of things. So I after listening to all those sessions, I tell this to myself that if a man with a kurta pajama and dhoti kurta and a turban can do politics, then why not a veiled woman? So I just tell this to myself, I have to do this. If they say you can't, I'll show them I can. This is what I learned from these sessions.
Absolutely. Breaking the gender bias, or for that matter, any bias, right? Lovely.